Well, hello teachers. This is Thomas. I'm going to teach you about EDUonGo, which is a little ironic considering I really didn't do much in school. So teaching a teacher, that's kind of a step up for me, and I'm all for that. So this is the home page on EDUonGo. You're now looking at this from the teacher's view. And the same components that are here, there should be a few more than you might expect or than what the student sees. And we can see those by scrolling to the right, I think. Yep. There's the course catalog. There's a few things here like the website. I'm not really sure what all that's about, but themes, I do know, is how you can set up your environment. So like your background here and your logo, that's what you do through themes, which some of your teachers probably don't have that access. This is interesting. You can add students to the environment by clicking here. I like this. You can just add a user. This is anybody who's signed up in your academy for any course. You can add them to your course here. Now, that does sometimes come in very handy. I think you can also use this to import additional individuals. So you can give the student role, you can type their name, first name, last name, enter their email address, give them a password, usually it's password, and save it, and then you can send them an email and tell them that they have an account that should come in and change things. Oh yeah, I gotta cancel that. Sorry guys. All right, so anytime you want to get back to the home screen, this little house here, that's how you get back. So click there. I really hope these go away soon. Sometimes when you have something like this, you just want to reload the page. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So click on that purple tile that I just clicked on to see your courses. You can see I've got more courses as a teacher than I have as a student. I wonder why that is. If I want to create a course, I can click here, or I can clone a course. As the previous session, I think, I recall in this course that you're looking at, there is a session on how to create a course. Actually, it's the one following this. He'll explain how you can click on clone course. No, I'm not bored. That wasn't a yawn. It's just a speech impediment. You can click on course or clone course to clone it. You can move your course to it if we happen to have different categories. This one doesn't have categories. So if we wanted to move it though to a different category, putting your mouse over that will help. You can edit your course here. And I'm talking about the course entry in the database, not the actual course. Change the name of the course, put a new image on it, that kind of thing. You can actually delete the course by clicking this X. Do that with care. All right, so let's just click on the name of the course. That's how we get to the course. We're going to edit the course. And like in the student section, you come to this first page with modules. You can also change your view. And when you change this view, by the way, you're also changing what the students see unless they change it here. So if you want it to look like this when they first come in, you can do that. In this course, the instructor has decided to use sliders for every module. The reason why they use a slider is because the slider allows us to organize concepts within what I call modules. Sessions are what we use when we're talking about a classroom course. So this particular course, this particular module is set to be available from today, October 8th, to next week, October 15th. Comments are optimized or turned on, I should say. If you want to change any of this, you click on the edit mode and you can see things look quite a bit different here. Right now, there's a little annoying bug, and that is that this slider turns into a type 1. That means there's no buttons on the bottom. I believe that this option is actually going to disappear. There's no real reason to have a type 1. We always want to go to type 2 because otherwise the learner just doesn't know that there's another slide following after that. And this is called a slider. You don't use this really to hold content, but to introduce content below. And below you can have HTML documents. Now this looks like a Word document or something, but it's formatted in this device and it becomes HTML on the background. And we can do a lot of interesting things like this. We can embed images. We can set up columns. We can do a lot of fun things using this document. And interestingly enough, you can cut and paste content from a website and paste it into here, and it carries along any images and formatting that was used on that web page. Don't ask me how, that's kind of like magic, but it takes all the code, the CSS and that sort of thing, and it just pastes it in here. That's very interesting. Okay, so how is it that when in the regular view you click on this and there's different content for each one of these slides? It has to do with this little item here. If you click here, you can see what unattached items are available from below, and you can click this checkbox. Sometimes that checkbox doesn't work. You have to, when you add something, you have to save it first, then come back into Edit and select. And if it still doesn't respond to your click, close this, go here, and move something on the bottom up a little bit so it's above something. It always clicks then. This is something we're going to fix, but for now, that's a little workaround. Okay, so if you wanted to change the image, and who wouldn't, you can click on this upload image, and you can see the objects that are in here already. None of them look significantly better, but you know, you might find something you like. But if you don't, you can click on this upload and upload an image. And if you connected to Dropbox or Google Drive, you'd be able to upload documents from those. Now, I think Dropbox is now active, and Google will be active next week, I believe. I'm talking to you from the 8th of October, so I'm not sure when you're going to look at this, but very soon you'll be able to get your files on these two drives in addition to what's on your computer. I hope that's clear. Okay, so this is where it says you can disable or enable commenting as far as general commenting. This is just anybody can say anything they want. I like to use discussions because discussions, when you set up a discussion, you can make it very focused. A discussion is not much good if people are talking about if there's multiple conversations going on at once in one chat. So you want to say, you know, like, who was it that Alexander Hamilton had a beef with on the shores of Manhattan a number of years ago? And you would have a lot of discussion about whether it was Aaron Burr or Mr. James Madison, who actually got along with him fairly well, at least in the early years. So you can have these discussions that allow learners to look at a specific question and sort of drill down into that question and see the shades of gray and learn from each other. That's when you use a discussion that you set up your own question. But this commenting allows people to just make as many comments as they want. And I would experiment as to how well that works for you. May or may not. It's kind of a new thing for me, so I haven't tested it yet. Let's see. You can add lots of different kinds of documents. This is a live session, by the way, and that's something completely different. You can click that and you can set up a session where you schedule a time for people to get together and talk live, online. This is where you can add these text documents. The text documents are very interesting. If you were working on it, you can click this and make it go for the whole page, which is much easier for working. You want to go to source if you want to work with code in here. And there's a lot of fun things you can do here. You can see that I put a div on this one to wrap it and hold it to 950 pixels. Div styles make containers, and with containers you can put attributes. You can say the whole thing's going to be green, or you can say it's going to be skinny or wide. So you can put those kind of attributes on things if you wrap it in a div. It's divs that allows me to make columns. So I can set a div and say, float to the left, make it only 450 pixels wide, and then I can add another div and say float to the right, make it only 450 pixels wide, and they both sit on side by side. It's like magic. It really works. So you can add audio, which is really cool. You can add video, and there's a limitation to your video. You need to use a YouTube video, or you need to upload an MP4 video here. So I think there's more than that, but as far as linking to an outside video, I think it's the YouTube. You can embed a video in this HTML document, but that does put some limitations on you, only in the sense that the functionality of this video as a separate component includes the ability to comment on the line, on the video line. So if there's a lecture and somebody says something that's a little bit obscure, one student can ask a question and other students can answer each other. It's this interaction between learners that takes a lot of load off teachers. That's what this system is really good for.